slowly but surely doing this, I can feel myself getting better at like conversation because it's something I've always enjoyed, but it's kind of hard to like, as soon as you get everything started, it's like, okay, begin. It's like, hello, how are you?
How's it going?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I like the soft openings. I don't like being like, all right, guys, welcome back. And today's Louie.
Welcome to Impulsive.
yeah. The number one podcast
in the universe.
It's going to be the second very soon. Sorry, Logan. Is everything recording? Yeah, we're good.
Boom.
That's fantastic.
That one's on.
If it's corrupted, I'm going to message GoPro myself. Ashton Kutcher owns a lot of GoPro.
Does
Is that who?
I have no idea. I thought it was I thought literally GoPro was owned by one person. Like that. I didn't think there was many investors in GoPro. Yeah. Actually, no. GoPro's in the stock market too. So.
Yeah, IPOs. I think UFC. I just saw a post that Dana White posted. UFC just released their first IPO onto the stock market, so you can invest into UFC. Yeah.
Goodness.
I'll have to peek into it. I don't know. It's probably an expensive stock.
I mean, UFC is worth a lot of money.
Yeah. Do you watch UFC?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. He's like, oh
it.
yeah.
I love it. I won't pay for pay-per-view though. I always go to someone else's house or somewhere else. I will not buy the fight, or I'll just wait until the next day and not be on social media. Right. I love it. I love watching it.
Yeah, my dad has one of those Fire Sticks, so he has everything jailbroken on there. So my dad's a tech guru, and he's like 50 years old. I'm like, wow,
your dad's a wizard.
Good work. He is a wizard. I mean, I like you have a wizard look to you.
A wizard?
A magical look.
Nah.
Come on, the top hat and the long hair. You definitely have superpowers.
Like a Guns N' Roses look, or a Motley Crue look, or
Motley Crue,
or ZZ Top maybe. Give me the sunglasses.
Gotcha.
Top. I actually got the square sunglasses too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Thank you for the coffee.
Yeah, no problem.
It's really good.
I know you're a Foxtail guy, so I made it a little.
I'm a Foxtail guy. Every once in a while, I'll go to the Outpouring, great coffee shops, but. Yeah, your look is unmatchable. Do you do it for a reason?
What?
Do you have this look?
Well, I'm colorblind, so all I see is black and gray. So I'm always wearing black. Literally black cup too.
Do a lot of people compliment the long hair?
Yeah.
Because it's really long. It's not just long. It's really long.
Dude, we've cut 5 inches off of it within the last 3 years too. So it used to be longer.
Yeah.
But a lot of people do comment on it. Actually.
Right.
I had someone come up to me the other day. They were like, "Can I just touch your hair?" I was like, "Sure." And they just started to caress my hair.
Puts it above his nose as a mustache.
Dude, it was weird, but I like it. I mean, we talk about cutting it all the time and donating it, but like every time I shower, it gets all over the walls and stuff like that. I could probably give you a full wig from the hair that's just on the walls.
I would really appreciate that. Thank you.
You don't need it. You look good with short hair.
Oh, appreciate it. Do you see the perm?
Yeah.
I want to admit it on the podcast before people start calling me out left and right. Like, that's not his real hair. It's a perm. It's my second perm, so I'm allowed to say I'm naturally curly. Sure. I think, right? Yeah. I can just say that.
Dude, but cool? The color of your hair on top and then your beard is completely different.
Is it really? Is this lighter brown?
Yeah. Unless I'm completely colorblind and everyone's gonna be like, "You're an idiot," but yeah, definitely.
It's probably different shade. I think I got a couple grays coming out the side, especially when I'm like stressed. Man, I've had grays since 16 years old. I'm like, I'm gonna be a silver fox one day.
A silver fox.
The look's good, like the silver fox look, like a nice fit 40-year-old guy with all silver.
Listen, if I can keep this hair and it be silver long like this, dude.
Ooh.
That'd be legit.
Yeah?
Yeah, it'd be solid.
Whenever I see a guy with a really nice mustache, that's one thing I like to compliment. I'm like, hey, I like your stash. Because I think it resonates, you know? It's like you're going to sleep one night and you're like, man, that one guy complimented my mustache. Today was a good day.
It was a good day.
Yeah. That positivity goes a long way.
It does. Just a simple compliment.
Right. Especially to a stranger, because then it's like, wow, they really just came up to me just to tell me that. It's cool.
Yeah, that was it. That's all. They didn't need something from me.
Yeah. Like
cool.
A lot of people have these gestures of like holding the door open at the grocery store, and it's like it's nice, but like sometimes going above and beyond is amazing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like if somebody drops something at work, I like to run and pick it up before they get to it, and they're probably like, screw this guy, he's annoying as hell. But I'm like, I'm nice.
I love you, man.
Yeah. Last time I had you on. We were talking about Rove Ministry, with New Wave Church. How's that going? I know you were making steps forward with that, doing things with that. How are you balancing everything, and what's Rove doing?
So it's a lot of ups and downs. Like it's weird because with Rove, like the definition of Rove obviously is to wander without a set destination. So
I love that.
It's legit. I like it. But like if Rove is in one place, then then it doesn't live up to its name. You know?
Right.
Because it doesn't make sense. So when we look at church, me personally, me, myself, and a few other people, we say like church should be more like a hospital. So we don't want people to walk in the same way that they walk out. And a hospital has different people, right? They have doctors, they have nurses, they have receptionists. And I was sitting there and I was like, what are we missing right now? And with Rove, to wander without a set destination, I was like, man, if we have all these different pieces of a hospital and labeling them as like pastors or elders in the church or this, that, and the other, or ministers or speakers, whatever you want to call them. The one piece that I feel like personally we're missing is EMTs or paramedics. It's like people to go out on the road to bring people into a place for them to get help.
Okay.
And like, so I was like, man, that's what Rove should be. Rove needs to have a home base, but also needs to be able to wander. And the cool thing about it is, like, when Jesus sent out his disciples, he sent them out in twos. Paramedics go out in twos.
In twos, yeah.
So that's what we're kind of focusing in on right now. And we're also focusing in on trying to branch out towards the other churches. Because, like, Ephesians, it talks about how you need to build up the full body of Christ. And if we have a tendency to plant all these different churches, we're like planting our different views and like our own body of Christ. Like we're not building it up, we're building up our own empire. Right. So we have all these different walks in life, and we're like, oh yeah, you should come here. Oh, you should come here. And so finding a ministry like Rove would be a perfect bridge between other churches. Be like, hey, like we don't care where you come from. We don't care how many social media followers you have, this, that, and the other. Like just come and be you, be real. Yeah. And that's where we're at right now, which is legit. So
can I start by saying that was an amazing metaphor with the hospital, and that was a really great way of explaining it, because, I mean, hospital, you got to get there first. A lot of people can't get there, whether it be, you know, work, school, family, problems.
Dude, and
that's amazing.
And that's the thing. Like, can I share a story with you real quick?
Of course.
So, like, I was blessed with the opportunity to speak at Rove last Sunday, and I was off for a few weeks, and something happened in that time that sparked that like reality check of like, whoa, this is what it's supposed to look like. On Wednesdays, I work with the group home kids here in Groveland, and they're kids that like have been dealt like a bad hand. Like they're not bad kids. Right. They're just dealt a really bad hand. And I was having a conversation with one of them. He was super angry, 16 years old. And he's like, I mean, angry, like a lot of anger. And I'm like, what's going on, dude? And he goes, I really just want to go to church, and I can't go to church. And I feel like this place is a prison, and to them it really is a prison. Like they leave these terrible homes in these terrible areas just to get involved with like group home people that are absolutely terrible. Like they don't really care. They're there for a paycheck. And it's tough because we come in and we're trying to just like get on a real level with them and like love on them, and they're hard to trust people really easily. And so it takes time. I'm sitting here, I'm having this conversation with them, and I look at them, I'm like, man, you just spoke to me. And I was like, listen, I started doing Bible studies with them and stuff like that, just like little things. But I was like, dude, I could never know what it feels like to be in your shoes. Never. But one thing I can tell you is with anger, we can make two choices, either to use it for good or to use it to hurt other people. And I was like, so where are you on that realm? Where are you on that fence line? Like on what side are you on? He goes, I use my anger and I get bullied a lot, and I just want to fight back. I just want to protect people that are getting bullied, and if I get bullied, I want to fight. And he just was really upset, and we went back into the subject of church. He's like, will you just have a conversation with like the lady who runs this place to see if we can go to church? And I was like, man, I don't know. And then I just sat back. I was like, what's it gonna hurt? Yeah, let's do it. I go have a conversation with her, and she looks at me, she goes, you're the first person that has came to us about getting them somewhere. I talk to people here, I talk to people this. You're the first person that ever tried. Right. She goes, with COVID and all this stuff, like, we can't, it's not on our radar. Like, we can't do this right now. But if you would take responsibility for this, like, by all means, we can make it happen. And to see his face just, like, change, he was just like, what? And I told him, like, dude, I could never know what it feels like to not have a mother and a father and all these things, but I can tell you that there's this dude named Jesus, this dude named God that, like, absolutely loves you and sees what you're going through, and he wants you to use this to help other people.
Yep.
And it sparked something in me. I was like, man, there's kids that don't get this opportunity. Like, there's people that cannot actually come here that are desperate to come here, and we take it for granted. 3 days later, not even a week later, before I could get paperwork together, all this stuff, he was getting bullied, and he made a decision to hit another person with a stick. Mm-hmm. He got charged with, what's the word? Like, oh man, what is the word?
Was it
assault with a deadly weapon?
What? They gave them all that? A kid from a group home?
Mm-hmm. 16 years old, assault with a deadly weapon. He's
16 years
sitting
old.
in jail. Sitting in jail.
Right now as we speak.
Yeah, sitting in jail. And I found out about it, and I just was like crying. I'm just like, what? Like, you're kidding me. And I brought this story up so many times because it really sparked something. So right. Sunday at Rove, I gave this message about that, and then God kind of just like placed that on my heart, because I wasn't sitting here thinking like, oh man, like EMTs, that's a great thing, that will reel people in. It was during my message that it came to me. I was like, this makes sense. And later on, my buddy was like, dude, do you even know what you just did? Like, they go out in twos and this, that, and the other. I was like, dang. Like, there's no surgeon in a hospital. The only surgeon in a hospital in a church is God. Like, he's the one who actually does the work. We're just assisting in the process. So it's like, there's so many people in colleges and just different walks in life that like don't feel comfortable walking into a church building. That's the people I want to reach. Like, I want to make friends in that way. So that's what happened.
I can't believe you almost made me cry already. The first podcast. Man, I feel for that kid. That's really sad. I hope there's a blessing along the road where this flips to be a good thing. But are you wanting to be, in a lot of ways, more than one way? You are kind of you have been reaching out, spreading this message through these BMX shows. Reaching a lot of kids that would be very closed off to the word and the gospel that you preach. If you weren't such a cool guy with the long hair and the hat and the and the motocross and the BMX, and I really envy you for that, and I know what you say is all glory to him, and that's even another reason why I envy you. You're doing amazing things.
Thank you.
You really are.
Glory to God. Yeah. Thank you for your encouragement, glory to God. That's what I like to say.
Yeah? Oh, beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah, that's the perfect way to say it.
Yeah.
But no, it means a lot. Thank you. And like, it's been like a long time coming. It's like, dude, like I didn't wake up when I was 4 years old and be like, this is what my life's going to look like. Dude, 2020 was like the best year of my entire life. Like, I was living on the fence between things. Like, I always love using the fence reference, because it's like, oh man, it's like either you're in God's world or you're in this world, and you bounce between the fence. For me, I always thought I was smart enough to like walk the fence line, be like, oh yeah, I don't have to choose a side. Like, I can get the best of both worlds. Like, if I split my body in half, like I'm walking this fence line, half my body's here, half my body's over here. Cool.
Right.
And the analogy is, it's like, until the devil comes up to you one day and taps you on the shoulder, and he's like, good job, dude, you figured it out. And he goes, what do you mean? Like, good job. He goes, I own the fence. It's one way or the other.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah.
And so like there was a lot of learning experiences to get to here, and I know there's a lot more to come for sure.
Yeah. So when I first messaged you to come back on the podcast, I wanted to talk to you again. You said you were going to be out, so we had to do it this week. Yeah. You were saying you were traveling for a couple months. What's in store for you? Where are you heading? What are you doing?
So we got a bunch of stuff planned. My buddies. Oh, I can't even say that. I can't say that yet. Because I don't know when this is coming out. Okay. So we're going somewhere. We're going to Charlotte. It's going to be a good time.
Do you want me to cut? Do you want me to cut out any sort of like?
No, we're good.
Okay, we're good.
Yeah, we're good.
There's no thought. Okay.
Because we leave tomorrow, so I mean, we should be fine.
Gotcha.
So he'll
sorry, guys.
He'll figure it out at like 4 a.m.
Okay, we can't fill you in about that. It's a surprise. So just disregard the past 30 seconds.
And if you're listening, really disregard. Yeah. You know who you are. No, but we fly out to Charlotte tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Spend the day there. I fly back on Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Land at 11. My mom has to bring my bag to the airport for me, and my bike bag. And I hop on a flight at 2, go to St. Louis, doing the show there the next day. Day after that, fly home. and then I'm home for like 2 or 3 days. And Wednesday I got my Ioma esports tournament for Supercross dirt bike game. Been playing that a little bit. A total nerd moment. But then after that, fly to Sioux Falls to go see some amazing people from Lifelight, which is like one of my favorite organizations to work with. I'm going to be there doing a huge youth conference. I'm getting to ride and speak. And after that, it's one thing after another here in Florida, actually. We're doing a huge event here called Emerge in Groveland on the 14th of May. And we'll have the stunt dudes there. We'll have a bunch of artists there and just gonna invite the community. Right. But before that, I have my buddy's wedding. I have a show the next day after my buddy's wedding. And I got 4 more shows from Florida to North Carolina. And then just the list goes on and on and on and on and on. Like the month of July, every weekend I have a show, no matter what. And like stuff in between. So it's going to be a lot. From now to August, it's just going to be like go, 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 go. Mm-hmm. And we're rebuilding the van too. So I plan on having the van like somewhere like in Missouri or Tennessee, like a central point to where I can fly home for Rove, be home, and then fly right back out to the van and go get these shows done. Yeah. Like it's going to be legit though.
Quick question with your shows, because you do have to perform.
Yeah.
And these stunts are crazy. If you guys haven't seen any of these stunts, check it out on his TikTok or Instagram. Mm-hmm. What's your TikTok name?
Louie Cortese.
We'll have links for everything, but you do some crazy stunts on the day of. Mm-hmm. How do you warm up? How do you prepare to go 20, 30 feet in the air on a 2-wheel bike? Like, what do you...
It's funny. Dude, I don't practice at all.
Okay, Allen Iverson.
I don't. Like, I really don't. It's bad. It's gotten to the point now where I won't ride unless I'm doing a show. It's been bad. But, like, realistically, like, the last show that we just did in Space Coast, I think I rode my dirt bike first. I didn't ride for a year. Turned the corner, 75-foot jump, just jumped. Got warmed up, did that, and then hopped on my BMX bike for 5 minutes. It was like, cool. It feels good. I should be able to do everything. Day of the show, there's thousands of people there. Just go. Like,
yeah.
It becomes muscle memory now, to where like going upside down, doing double flips, doing stuff like that. Like, I can look at something and be like, yeah, I can do it here, or yeah, I can't. But so it's just to the point now where it's just like I've done it so much that it's just easy. And I don't like saying it's easy, like knock on wood, but
right.
Like, I don't get scared. I don't get nervous. I'm just like, this is my job. Like, let's go. It's easy.
Yeah. Do you train at all to complete these? Meaning training as in supplemental training, like off a bike, push-ups, sit-ups, running, cardio, staying fit?
I'm trying to get back into that. Like from COVID to now, like I had my shoulder injury and all that stuff. Yeah. Like I was in the gym beforehand. Now it's just been like nothing. I'm more so wake surfing every other day or skateboarding.
Which is a great workout.
It is,
both
dude.
Those things.
It actually kicks your butt. Like I didn't realize it actually is a workout. I probably sound super lame saying that, but it is tiring. Yeah. But other than that, I mean, I'm trying to get back into the gym and just getting on a better eating plan than anything, because like nutrition is like above all else what I need right now. So we'll see.
Yeah, diet. People fail to realize that diet's extremely important when it comes to like health and fitness.
Yeah.
For me, I'd rather have a good diet than a good lift session. You know. But skateboarding, I mean, you saw that skateboarding's been added to the Olympics. Yeah. There's this older guy at my job. He was like, when I was young, he's like, I used to get yelled at for skateboarding. I was stupid skateboarding kid. He's like, now it's like in the biggest games worldwide, the Olympics, and he was super jealous of that.
Yeah.
But they're doing both a park and street. And how do you feel about like BMX Freestyle or anything like that ever being introduced to the Olympics? Because there's X Games, of course, but it's two separate entities, if I'm correct.
So BMX and skateboarding has been added this year for Olympics.
Is it just BMX racing, or is there also a freestyle?
BMX racing and freestyle. So it's park style. So they got both now, and it has been, for me, I think it's amazing. Like the Olympics saved snowboarding in my eyes. Like no one was on the slopes up until it got so much recognition from Olympics.
With
and
Shaun
then
White.
And it exploded. Like you can't go to Utah and get on a lift anymore. It's like $250 a day just to get on there, and then you have to reserve your spot, all this stuff. It's crazy because people saw it in that way. They're like, we could go do that. That's awesome. Like it's actually accessible to us. With BMX, I think it's amazing but it's been so controversial in like the whole sport itself.
Yeah.
Like one of the most famous BMXers ever. Like if I said his name right now, you'd know exactly who he is.
Adam Mosey, or
No.
are you talking about YouTube, or are you talking about like a series?
Like a series. Matt Hoffman. Like he wrote in an
okay.
article, he said we need to keep the Olympics out of our sport and like bash the sport, bash the Olympics, everything because of the way that they judge and this, that, and the other. I'm sure someone from BMX World is going to listen to this and be like, you're an idiot for saying this. But like, I think it's completely selfish to get mad that you're putting BMX at the highest honor in sports. Like, who can question it now? It's like these guys get paid $500 a month from a BMX company. Like they don't make anything.
Yeah.
If you're on Rockstar or Monster or something like that, chances are, or Red Bull, you're gonna make a pretty good living. Like I know people who make $8,000 to $10,000 a month riding a BMX bike for a living from their sponsors. But it's the top 10 in the world, maybe. Now with the Olympics, their countries are paying for them to go. They're paying for insurance, all this stuff. Like,
right.
To me, it's amazing. It's not for me. Like, I don't think there'll ever be a day that I'll be like, I want to go to the Olympics. Like, that's not my thing because I love performing. I love being able to reach people and hang out and talk. With contests, it's judged by someone's opinion of you and your riding. So if I woke up one day and I was wearing pink shoes and the judge didn't like that I was wearing pink shoes, chances are I'm not going to win, even if I rode a completely amazing run.
Right.
So for me personally, it's not for me, but like for my buddy like Brant Lincoln, he's #1 for Australia he's going to the Olympics. Like he's been training for this moment. For him, I hope he wins. Like it's going to be amazing.
What's his name?
Brant Lincoln.
Okay, awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's just, I think it's rad, honestly. I think it's awesome.
So the judging just isn't transparent. There isn't like an exact sort of like scoring. It's kind of like up to me whether I like it or not.
At like 99% of the contests, yes. Some of the contests have been moving towards more of a point system. Like if you do a backflip, it's worth this much. If you do a backflip tail whip, since a tail whip is worth this much and a backflip is worth this much, adding them together is this much. So they're doing that, but like it gets to the point to where people are copying each other. Like every run looks so similar.
Right.
And so for me, like I said, for me, it's like I'm not going to go do a run with 20 tail whips. I'm just not going to do it.
So the point system kind of gets rid of the art of the run.
Seems
and
like
it's
it.
like, oh, I do this real quick, get as many tricks, I'll hit this, then hit that, kind of plan it out. And
well, you actually hit the nail on the head with that too.
Yeah, thank you.
You did. You did. You do lose the style of it. Like Kevin Peraza is one of the most stylish riders. He'll do stuff that no one out of the entire field is doing, and then get like 10th. It doesn't make sense. So yeah, it's very controversial.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad BMX has entered into the Olympics though.
Same.
It's gonna make the whole thing more lucrative.
It is. Awesome.
More eyes on the sport. That leads me into the question. You already answered this. Never aspiring to do X Games or Olympics, any competition involving even motocross. If you get to that point, I mean, do you ever aspire to do any crazy competition like this if the time's right?
So the only thing that I can be completely honest that I'm interested in a realistic standpoint, anyone can say like, oh yeah, I would love to go to X Games. I'd love to do this. My main interest contest wise is doing things that are very one trick oriented or 5 trick oriented. So it's like Nitro World Games, which is a huge ramp, and they're just sending themselves to this huge ramp. And like X Games has the same thing. They have X Games Big Air. Those things are very attractive to me in the way of like, you know what, like if I actually trained and actually had a facility to go to, I think I could be good at this because I'm good at looking at something, visualizing it, and doing it. And so
manifestation.
I enjoy that stuff. For me, the reason why, like the difference between like a contest like Olympics and a contest like Nitro World Games is like just like you said, like I don't want to be like, okay, I gotta do this, I gotta pedal over here, then do 10 tail whips over here, then a flare over here. Like I just want to be able to set what I want to do, and if I don't land this one, cool, I'm gonna go to the next one and just have 3 tries to do the biggest run that I could possibly do and stomp it down and kind of get the glory. I was actually having a conversation with Kedzie about it, and I was like, man, like it's pretty lame that I feel like my life is going to take a really amazing, just like skyrocketed turn up. Like I feel it, like I know, but like I don't have much to show for it, if that makes sense. And she looked at me and she's like, what's a medal going to do for you? Like you're going to have all it's going to do for you is be satisfying for the moment, and you get to look at it at what you did. And in reality, you're just going to want to chase it again and chase it again. It's like, it's never going to stop. And I learned that from motocross. I learned that, like, you're never good enough and you'll never be good enough, because there's always someone better than you. There's always someone stronger than you or faster than you. And it's mentally just draining. If I'm not having fun riding, then, like, why would I ride?
Right.
And I'm getting to the point now where I'm 23 and I sound like I'm an old man, but, like, I don't want to get hurt. Like, I want to.
A lot of people are going to be pissed that you said 23 and you feel like an old man.
I do. I mean, I've broken more bones than my age. So,
right.
So I'm hurting, man. But, like, the Nitro World Games, X Games, stuff like that, like, maybe one day if I get an opportunity and, like, hey, come try out, like, cool.
If it presents itself.
Yeah, if it never does. But I doubt it will, but you never know.
Yeah. You're doing other things.
Exactly.
Doing a lot of other things.
Yeah, exactly.
Last time you were on the podcast, we talked a little bit about you aspiring to open a little coffee shop, especially involved. Where was it at? By the Citrus Tower, was it?
It was gonna be, originally it was gonna be over on 50 somewhere, and then we talked about doing a trailer, then talking about doing it at the church, and it's just been like a big circle,
bouncing ideas right now.
Like,
okay.
And I think right now with that, we're at a really good point with it, but also just completely far away from it.
Yeah.
Because there's so many opportunities to do things, and we're like, okay, now what? Actually, one of the coolest things about it is my buddy Kyle, which I do shows for. He runs a tea place in Arkansas, Bentonville, and my favorite coffee shop, like hands down favorite coffee shop, is Onyx Coffee Lab. And I was talking with him. I just did a show with him in Memphis, and I told him my idea on what I wanted to do. And he goes, dude, like, I have huge connections with those guys. Would you want to, like, outsource their beans to you guys? And I was like, heck yeah. Like, why not? Let's do it. He gives me a text, and, like, a couple days later, he's like, dude, Bear, which is, like, their head guy there, he goes, he wants to talk to you, this, that, and the other. Like, what's your email? Bear emails me, and he goes, hey, I love your idea. I love your heart. I'll set you, like, don't worry about going through anyone. You can just go directly through us, and I'll give you a wholesale account. Gave me my own password, email to their website, and I can get all of their beans sent to my house. And their beans are next level expensive. Like, it's ridiculous. And for them to give me wholesale for basically being a nobody and just sharing my dream to them, like, praise God, like, it's so sick. So that in itself has been so motivating. Like, okay, like, maybe I actually should do this. I have a couple opportunities with one of my buddies that has been wanting to do a coffee shop for a long time, and we're talking with the city of Groveland about doing one in Groveland and doing it drive-through only, so that way we can get, like, the daily commuters and kind of get, like, the taste palette on people to understand specialty coffee in this area, and then kind of blossom from that. But I still want to do, like, a mobile unit with my van.
I was going to say, because a long time ago when we were real young, you kind of wanted to do a food truck at one moment in time. Yeah. So it's kind of like a collaboration of dreams coming together.
It's gonna be.
I'd really like mobile coffee. That would be awesome.
It's a no-brainer. Like, it makes sense. Yeah. It's really cool. And
what's the system you'd think? Would you park and then have people come?
So obviously there's a million different things that you can do. Right. But, like, one of the main things that I really like to do is to go to events that I know people are going to want coffee. Yeah. It's like some of the mega churches, they'll have like big nights and big, like, parties and show up. Like, kids love lattes. And the cool thing about it is you can go to an event and be like, hey, or a wedding, you'd be like, hey, so this is what I do. Every coffee is on average $5 to $6. I will give you $4 per latte. If there's 250 people, you pay $4 for all of those people to get one drink. And then after that, we'll just factor it in. So everyone is paid for one drink at $4. You profit. I mean, the price margin, it's usually about 87 cents for a drink, cup, ice, everything. And they're selling it for $5 to $6. You're profiting a lot of money. You're profiting all of that. Yeah. And who says that every single person's going to get a drink? Chances are they're not. Yeah. And if they do, or if one person gets two, it's like it all factors in, basically. And you can make a couple $100s a day by just being there, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and it's a good time being at a venue or an event. And sunny weather down here in Florida. You love this state?
I honestly, I love Florida. Like, Florida is definitely home, but I could see home elsewhere as well.
For sure. You think you would ever leave Florida for good?
No. I know for a fact I will always have a property or a house or a van or an RV, something here,
right?
No matter what. Like, it's just, it wouldn't make sense not to. Like, this is awesome. This place is amazing.
Yeah, I love Florida. I
Same.
love this place. I could see myself living somewhere else temporarily.
Yeah.
Meaning temporarily as in maybe 4 to 5 years or something like that for an excursion of some sort. But I love this state, and I'm really happy with this podcast because I really want to elevate everyone in this state, because I feel like a lot of people, even locally, you're one of those people, are just amazing, like absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
Or like long talks at night. It's like, man, like the world should know about you or hear, or whether how small the audience is. I mean, the word should just get out. But I wanted to include some coffee fun facts.
Oh boy.
I'm so sorry.
Let's hear it.
All right, let's see. Did you know after oil, coffee has become the second most valuable commodity around the world?
No doubt. That's crazy.
Second most valuable next to oil. And oil is going to be depleting soon when...
So coffee's good.
Yeah, coffee's going to be the number one commodity. You're stepping into an extremely lucrative business. I mean, drinking coffee right now.
Exactly.
I drank coffee yesterday and the day before that. Here's another one. Coffee is the number one diet source of antioxidants in the United States, Italy, Spain, and Norway. Really? Antioxidant. Do you know what antioxidants are?
No.
I'm sure you know they're healthy. So they're healthy. What they do is they pair with these things called free radicals within your body, and free radicals are like damaged cells.
Okay.
They pair with them and cleanse them and help them. It's pretty magical. I was just talking to Dane Whitaker. The podcast with him just went out today. Or for you guys listening, I don't know when it was. I don't know how this all lines up.
Whatever.
But where was I?
That's an antioxidant.
Oh, yeah. Or no, we were talking about how the more I learn about science, the more I understand that we don't know everything. Like, because a lot of people, when they learn about science, or specifically health science is what I'm majoring in, I mean, I learn about how potassium bonds with this, and it's like, but where's the in-between? Where's the why? It's like, you're telling me this bonds with this, and there's no mechanism of doing so, but that's just what we know. We know it does it, you know? So to me, it brings me further to understanding that there's a lot that we don't know. And like that we can't explain.
And that's the coolest thing, like, not to throw like the God back into your face, but like Deuteronomy 29:29 says, for the secret things are for the Lord our God. It's like, there's certain answers that we'll never get and that we'll never understand. And that's what motivates me, because there's so many arguments that you could have no matter what. And I'm sorry to go on this rant, but like, how do you know that George Washington was the first president?
A textbook. That's all I know.
Right? So history, right?
Right.
It's proof in history. It's like, we actually have evidence that he was who he says he was, and he was our first president. Historical evidence. So another thing is, in the Bible, people look at Jesus and they look at all these different places and they're like, man, like, I can't believe in that book. Like, that's this, that, and the other. I'm like, well, the thing is, how do we know Jesus was who he says he was and that he actually was in those places? Because we have historical evidence that proves it. Other religions recognize Jesus, and whether they recognize him to be who he says he is or who they have made him out to be, there's still proof there. And it's the same exact thing where the argument is, well, I can't believe in something that I can't see. So prove the existence of air to me. Just blow. You can't see it, but you have to believe in it.
Right.
And that's how God is. And there would be no value on the free gift that was given by Jesus if we didn't have to kind of work for it and have faith in something that we can't truly see. Because believing in something is basically sitting on the teeter-totter of like, you know what, like, I have this evidence that it could be real, so I believe in it. Faith is complete belief. Like, there is no other option. And for me, there is no other option. It's like, I've been a miracle child. I've had all these things happen to me. I've had these voices come into my head that have led me to success and many other things that were like, it had to be him. It had to be God. So when you look at your body and you look at the world, you're like, how the heck does all of this work?
I have, I know that thought. Sometimes I just see the water and the bird, and I'm like, why? The bird's flying. I'm like, why?
How?
Yeah.
So Louie Giglio, he gave a message that we listened to the other day, and it was saying like if the world was the size of a golf ball, and he was using it was such an amazing reference. He says, find yourself on this golf ball. Chances are you're so tiny they're not going to be able to see it. And he goes into explaining how large the sun is compared to us and how large these stars are. One of the largest stars that they ever found is if you were to take the Earth and measure it to the sun and then measure that to the star, you could not even find the sun in the middle of this entire star. It would be like taking a Sharpie and pointing it in the middle of it. Like, it's so big that we can't even understand.
Yeah.
And the person who created that created you and breathed life into you and actually wants a relationship with you, because we get into this mix between the two R's, religion versus relationship. Christianity is known to be a religion, but what it's supposed to be is a relationship. It's an opportunity for you to have a relationship with the person who created you. And he didn't need you, he wanted you. And so someone needed to hear that, but like it's truly amazing when you realize that there's no expectation for you except to really believe, to really just understand. You'll never be perfect. They'll have issues. Like, people ask me all the time, they're like, man, so you believe gay people go to hell? I'm like, well, no and yes. They're like, well, what are you talking about? I'm like, so just because my sin might be internal and you don't see it, just because theirs is on the outside, because they're struggling with this, they struggle with things that are more on the outside that you can see, I can't tell you that they're going to heaven or hell. I have no place to put them in. But if they truly believe in the person who created them, and they truly sit back and be like, you know what, like, I believe in this person, but I have this struggle that I'm letting go of. If sin convicts you, then it's wrong. But if it condemns you, then you're on the teeter-totter, because condemning is a strong disapproval. Conviction is like, I know I'm doing wrong. It's not, Jesus didn't die to make bad people good. It's just true belief. It's just true faith. That's all it is.
I like that you're able to address what people see as the negative side of faith and whatnot. That's very respectable to you, and you put it in a good way, that everybody has sin, you know. Whether your sin is you're gay or your sin is you lied to your mom, you know.
Exactly.
They're both sins. So
I think I can't remember where in the Bible, but it says, for Christ still died for us while we were still sinners. It's like, it means that it still happened. It means we're still sinners. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, name me one perfect person. You cannot.
And that's why churches hurt so many people, because it's a imperfect building built with imperfect people. So you'll never find a perfect church.
Do you think social media has like more negative than positive, or more positive than negative effects on
Have you seen
society?
The Social Dilemma?
You know what? I haven't watched it, but I always hear it brought up in these conversations.
You should, because it makes a lot of sense. Because
why?
When people are on one side of the party, let's say politics-wise, chances are they're going to get a lot of like exciting and like positive things about the person that they're supporting, and a lot of negatives of the other person. And so with social media, they figured out an algorithm to create it to where it literally does that. The computer thinks on its own, and even when our phones are near each other, if we're both like similar things, ads are going to come up from what I was talking about and what you were talking about, and basically our phones are sharing data to each other. So when it comes to social media, if I have a father that does not believe in God whatsoever, and he's always looking up, let's say, I don't even know, like, let's say like Buddhism or Satanism, like he's not a Christian. Chances are I'm going to get a lot of things fed to me that are involving that realm because I'm around him. And so there's so much negative and positive that it's constantly battling with each other, but it's what you choose to give attention to. Because if you look at a post for 30 seconds versus 35 seconds, the algorithm's going to say, oh, he looked at this one longer. Let's funnel him more things that are like that.
Right.
So for me, it's like TikTok is the thirst trap of all things. It's like if you look at a girl's butt for 5 seconds, you're like, oh, that's a cool video. Chances are there's another one going to come up. Or if you like it or this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
So I think it's what you entertain is what you're going to get. So if you entertain more positivity, there'll be more positive things coming your way in social media. But if you like to be a gossiper or you like to be involved in drama, chances are there's going to be more drama.
Yeah, I need to watch the Social Dilemma. It's still on Netflix?
I think so.
Probably. Was it an original? Netflix original?
Yeah, so it should be still there.
Gotcha.
It'll make you want to throw away everything social media related.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, before I started this podcast, I did 4 months of absolutely no socials. And that's what sparked this fire in me was getting real with myself, getting real with the environment, getting real with my family, spending more time with my girlfriend. Man, I had a lot of epiphanies. Met your
girlfriend.
I know. She has very strict parents.
Okay.
Oh my God, I was just thinking about this earlier. I was eating hummus. And it just reminded me that my girlfriend's family is Lebanese.
Okay.
Her mother makes the best hummus ever on this planet. In fact, if you open a coffee shop, just please hire her just to make a batch of hummus every morning. Please, good. It's so good. I'm gonna cry thinking about how good her hummus is. Oh my gosh! But yeah, you'll meet her. She just has very strict parents.
For sure.
I don't want to say anything too much, but hopefully I can tie a knot at one point. We'll see.
Oh.
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay.
Yeah. Hopefully she doesn't listen to this podcast.
You just got red.
Hopefully she clicked off in like 10 minutes. But no, it's in the future, but hopefully it's coming up. And then
you don't want to know my opinion on that, but
oh really? From a married, what's your opinion?
If you know, you know, and if you know, why wait?
Oh God! Wow.
Oh, dude, you don't want to know. You
just put me between a rock and a hard place.
Well, the thing is, do you like yourself right now?
You know what? I'm really learning to love myself, but I know there's a lot more potential there.
Because if you do not like yourself and you date someone that's similar to you, chances are you're not going to like her either.
She's so much better than me, Louie.
I understand that.
She's so much better than me.
I'm 100% positive that's true.
It's not that hard, my guy. No, she's amazing.
That's right.
I wouldn't say saint. She's a saint.
Different.
She's just amazing. I have so much love for that girl. She's killing school. Sometimes I catch myself getting jealous. And I have a good mechanism of being like, hey, you shouldn't feel that way. That's bad. Yeah. And so at least I'm aware, and I'm like, gosh, she's really good with her shit. Yeah, she's a bad bitch. I don't want to I don't want to cuss, but I wanted to do a Florida Man challenge with you. Have you done this?
What?
The Florida Man challenge?
I've never heard of it.
What date's your birthday?
September 2nd, 1997.
September 2nd.
Oh, goodness.
So what the Florida Man challenge is, you type in your birthday.
Okay.
And then you type in Florida Man.
Oh, goodness.
You know our state. This place is crazy.
Yep, I know a lot of crazy people.
All right, let's see here. Oh. Yeah, I love this screen. Oh, here we go.
Oh, goodness.
All right. September 2nd. It's not on the year. You just type in the birth date. But Wet Willy Attack pits Florida man in jail. A Florida man was arrested after reportedly giving his girlfriend a wet willy. Joseph Ceresi. Poor guy. Or poor girl.
Facing a battery charge for August 15th. Wet Willy Attack, according to an arrest.
What'd you do on 2018? September 2nd, 2018. What were you doing?
Hard saying not knowing, dude.
Were you at the...
Oh, my goodness. I know exactly where I was.
Where were you?
My brother got us... I saw your notes, so this is going to tie in really well. And my brother got us a Airbnb, and then we went to a rave that day.
Oh! That's awesome.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, I was going to say, I had that on my notes, EDM festivals, because they're going to be coming back.
They are.
And I know I went to my first little EDM rave with you.
You did.
And I want to go to a lot crazier ones, and maybe one day we'll go to Coachella or something like that.
Who knows?
Yeah?
You're
still in that scene though, right?
I mean, yes and no. I mean, I haven't been in so long. And
Right.
so, like, for now, for me, like, so many, like, this is another controversial thing. Oh, well, you say you're a Christian. How could you go there? Well, Jesus sat amongst tax collectors and sinners, which a perfect person. And the tax collectors were, like, the crappiest people. Like, they sucked, basically. And
Let me get this off the screen.
No, you're good.
Start getting creeped out.
You're good.
Okay.
And so it's like, so many people are like, oh, well, you're going to go to a rave and you say you're a Christian? You're preaching to people? I'm like, yeah. The Bible says not to be conformed to the world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind. Means that you can live in the world, but not live and manifest it in sin. Not like purposely choose sin over God. So I can go to a rave because I enjoy the music, and I can wear my sinner t-shirt that says forgiven on the back and jump around and have a good time.
Right.
Like, I don't drink, I don't smoke. Like, if you do, cool. If you're a Christian, you can smoke weed if it's legal. Like, I don't care. Like, it doesn't bother me none. Exactly.
Yeah.
And the Bible says to obey the law of your land. So if it's illegal and you're smoking weed, then you're breaking the law of your land. But if it's legal, then you could smoke weed. Sorry to go into that tangent, but it's like a fine line. And so I definitely, like, my buddy actually just texted me about it yesterday. He goes, you want to go to Sunset? I'm like, I was thinking about it. So
do it.
Maybe.
Do it.
We'll see. I mean, show schedule and stuff like that.
Jesus loves EDM.
Amen.
Yeah.
Dude, I should be like the first Christian EDM artist. Like, maybe I should get into it. I should be a DJ.
Be a DJ?
I think I should.
I'd love that. I'd have you on the set of the podcast, put you in the corner over there, and
would you believe me if I told you I actually came up with an entire idea to be a DJ?
Of course I believe you, Louie. You're a crazy guy.
Dude, and I was going to call it Where's Lou? And every single EDM concert I go to, I would be in the crowd before my set and hang out, jump around, and then have a mic and a security guard with me. And then at like the beginning of the concert, it'd be like a spotlight trying to find where you're at, and then I'd come up on stage so that people would get involved with it and be like, oh, where is he? Is he here?
Right. You should network and promote that to an already existing DJ.
Right.
Just as like a segment to begin with, because that would be just awesome. That'd be so much fun.
Dude, honestly,
that's a really good idea.
I think that might be my next ministry move. I think I'm going to be an EDM artist.
EDM artist?
Yeah.
Link it all together?
Yeah.
That's amazing. It's like all those words bunched in the same sentence.
Who knows? I don't know.
I like it.
That's funny.
Bro, I really appreciate you.
Thank you. Likewise.
This was a really good time.
It was.
I think the first one was great. The second one was better. This podcast was awesome, man.
For sure.
Yeah. You like the studio? What's going on in here?
The studio is legit. It's well deserved. So now I don't know. I think it's awesome.
I appreciate that.
I love the sign. That is so sick.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to do this?
I have a busy schedule, so I was trying to fit this all in.
Mm-hmm.
It took me 2 to 3 months. 2 to 3 months. I'm kind of a perfectionist sometimes, but not to a fault, if that makes sense.
Not for sure.
Usually it's vice versa, but I try to perfect it, and then I just settle. And I love it and accept it, but I love this place.
It's awesome.
I love the way it turned out. I hope these cameras are all actually working, because that first video format could only use the one wide angle over there.
Yeah.
Because one of these were not working, but it looks like we're good.
Yeah,
it should be good.
The lights are still blinking.
Yeah, man. I love you.
Love you too, bro.
I love you. Louie Cortese, everybody.
Love you too. We almost
redo
messed
that.
up.
All right, man. I appreciate you coming on.
Love you guys. Peace.
That was awesome.
Yeah, it was fun.
That was really good.
It was fun.